Hi, hello, welcome and welcome back with Expressies to another video. As you can see by today's title, we are going to be doing my TBR jar, which is my February reads. Now, this TBR jar has been updated since the last time I used it, which was in December of last year. So, with that being said, I put new prompts in here that fit more to what is on my shelf, but also like ebooks that I have downloaded on Kindle Unlimited on my iPad for me to read. So we're choosing from both because my Kindle Unlimited library is ridiculous at this point, and I should be concerned. So this time around, I think I want to choose 8 to 10 prompts out of this jar because I did a 24-hour readathon in January and it has really made me want to read. At the moment, I think I have completed about 12 books by now by the time I'm filming this. And so I am just really enjoying reading at the moment. So I think I can bump it up a bit. But also, I have read 4 out of 6 books on that TBR from this month. So I'm proud of myself. So with that being said, we're gonna bump up how many prompts I choose from this jar. So yeah, some books I do have videos planned for, so I can't really choose them. Because those videos aren't probably gonna come out until March. So with that being said, we're just gonna go through the books that I have. I have quite a few. So let's go. First prompt of February is I'm not looking. Okay. I want you guys to see it first. What does that say? Book published in 2022. This was like a crime to myself. Why did I do this? Do I dare put Bloodmarked on here even though I haven't even reread Legendborn? No. 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 When did this come out? Nope. Why is it so hard? This is a book I have on Kindle Unlimited that I have been actively trying to avoid when I got back into reading, but I was kind of interested in it because hockey romance, and I was like, ooh, hockey romance. I haven't read one of those in a while. We're gonna do it then. We're gonna see if I like it, and if I do, then great. If I don't, I'm coming for everybody who told me this series was good. Icebreaker by Hannah Grace was published in 2022, and it is in my Kindle Unlimited library at this very moment. I have seen the special edition of this book everywhere. You can't look or go anywhere without seeing it. It is literally everywhere. So that is the first book for the first prompt. A book published in 2022 is Hannah Grace. What? No, Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, which is the first in her series. I'm terrified. I have heard very mixed things from people I follow about how they feel about this book. So I'm scared of how I'm gonna feel about this book. Prompt number 2. I literally was looking at that and I'm not supposed to. That's upside down. What does that say? Guilty pleasure read? Should I do it? Should I do it? I'm gonna do it. Um, Queen Takes Queen by Jolie Sue Burkhart. It is in the Dear Vampire Queen series. That's the third book. Um, and at the point of filming this, I have not yet started the second book, but I plan to in a couple of days. So we're gonna put the third book on my February TBR because I love this series and it's a guilty pleasure read for me. I literally read it whenever I need like a little palate cleanser, when I need something quick and easy to read. When I'm trying to get myself out of a slump, I pick up the series because these books are like 150 to like 250 pages long. Like they're not long books at all. They're more like novellas, but they're really good. They're really smarty, and I enjoy them. I don't. So we're going with that. We're not doing good. We're trying to get this physical TBR thing down. Not like I have many books on my physical TBR, anyways. But prompt number three. That's already on prompt three. It's insane. Ooh, I feel like this. I'd say, let a friend pick. Okay, okay, okay. I have a friend who reads, and I will send her a picture of a couple books I want to read, and I'll show you what those books are, and I will let her pick for me while also sending her pictures on the book so she can see. Let me pick out the books that I'm kind of in the mood to read, and then go from there.
Why does this feel like I'm choosing life and death here? Oh,
So the three books I'm gonna have her choosing from are Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole, Gear Breakers by Zoe Hanamakuta, and Wayward by Emily Hart. Amelia Hart. These are three very different books. This is fantasy romance. This is sci-fi, and this is like historical fiction, magical realism. Three very different spectrums of the board here, but I felt like they were good choices, and they are books that I've been eyeing on my shelves. So I'm gonna go quickly send her a picture of these three books and tell her what it is for, and then when she responds to me, I will let you know. I have texted her. I don't know when she's going to respond. But if she responds in the middle of this video, I will stop, go see what she says. All I did was basically tell her that I have a YouTube channel and I need her help picking books, yada yada yada. Well, she hasn't seen the books yet, but I did text her, and so when she gets back to me, I will let you guys know. So with that, we'll be moving on to pick our fourth prop out of the jar. I'm nervous. All I can think about is the fact that she's going to be responding at any point in time, and I have to wait. We're going deep in here, okay? Oh, she's typing. Okay, let me show this prompt, and then we'll go see what she said. What does that even say? Book that's been on my TBR for over a year. Oh, okay. Is this finally time I do it? I have a couple other books that I've been on my TBR for over a year as well, besides this one I just picked. But I feel like this one stands out the most because I have put it on multiple TBRs. I put it on my 2024 to read in 2024. I put it on my 2025 to read in 2025, I believe. So I'm gonna throw it in. Gideon and I by Tamsin Muir. I am terrified of this book. Okay, it's why it's been sitting on my shelf since nearly 2 years ago. I literally got this on my birthday in 2023. So it's been over a year since I've had this book and I have yet to read it. It's literally just been sitting on my shelves, rotting. Criminal. I pretty much don't know nothing about, I know nothing about this book besides necromancers and sapphic is what I got from people. And I think I need to read the audiobook with this. So I need to immersive read where I read along while I'm listening to the audiobook of this. So that's what I'm gonna do with this one. This is the first physical book we've got on this TBR. As of right now, before I go respond to my friend. I'm absolutely terrified. But I'm also absolutely terrified of this book. So we'll see if I get to it. I might avoid it for longer, and then what? You can't stop me. Okay, I have just sent her pictures of the front and back of the three books that I picked out earlier. So while we wait for her to read the synopsis and look at the covers of each book, let's go ahead and pick out prompt number 5. Why am I like actually kind of shaking? Like, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it. Romantasy book. Alright, I don't need to think about this, not a single thought in my head. I already know what I want to read. I've been eyeing it since I finished the first book and this duology in December. I have been thinking about this book, and now the time has come where I can pick this out and read it in my continuing slash finishing series vlog. Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. What were we expecting? Okay, this is a reread for me. I read these pretty early into 2024 last year, and I rated them both 5 stars. I love these. Some people said they were very disappointed by this book. I was not. I just knew that I loved that book and I needed to read this one. And when I did, I loved it just as much. And I expecting to love it just as much as I did. I did do a reread of Divine Rivals back in December with the audiobook. So I'm thinking of doing the same thing with this one. I don't know though, because I kind of want to annotate this as I go because Rebecca Ross knows how to write. Girl knows how to pull you in, knows how to write some lyrical writing. Like she is stellar in writing game, okay? So I am going to what's on my TBR is me finishing duology, although I've already read it before, but it's still going to be another me finishing something. Prompt number 6, the longer it takes to read these backs of the books, the more scared I am. Can y'all hear this on the mic? I just realized I'm doing this right by the mic. Okay, whatever. Well, there's a prompt that I kind of see at the bottom here. I can't really see what it says. She's typing again. Book with a cover I don't like. Oh. Oh. Would it be wrong of me to say this book, although I love the book, the covers of these kind of do bother me, and I wish they had more discreet covers, but they don't. So it makes it feel like I'm reading like smut in like real life. Now I know you see how chunky this book is. This book is over 600 pages, and that is Blood Mercy by Vila Rock. I don't even want to like show you the cut. I don't even really want to show you this cover, but Blood Mercy by Vila Roth is the book that I'm choosing for this prompt. I I do plan on buying the special edition that she put out last year, like late last year. So I'll have it on my shelf because I absolutely adore these books. Now I know people say they grow tired of the series as it goes on. Some people, not everybody, But I have loved the first three books. I read all the first three of these books last year. And I'm going to reread them so I can finish out the series this year. 8 books are out. I think it's supposed to be like a 9 or 10 book series. I'm not really sure. But 8 books are out in this series, and they're all pretty big chunkers, like this one itself. And some of them even split into 2 parts because of how big the book was going to be. But I love this. I think I gave this a 5 star on the first read, but it's more like a 4.75, 4.5, somewhere in there. But I love this nonetheless. It is a vampire fantasy romance story where the fantasy plot line overtakes the romance, but there is romance. Absolutely love this. You will see this book again in a recommendation video coming up soon. I don't like the cover because it makes me feel like I'm reading something I shouldn't be reading in public. So I don't really ever take this out of the house because I don't feel like I should be reading it in public. So Bree has spoken. She has chosen a book out of the 3 books I sent her. I'm glad she picked the book she picked, though. I am. I'm just absolutely terrified to read this book. So drum roll, please. She has picked Wayward by Amelia Hart. I don't know what made me pick up this book. I bought it last year when I went to Barnes and Noble, and I don't remember what made me pick this book up, but I picked it up, and so here we are, a year later, reading it, or going to attempt to read it. If you're Bree, hello. You picked a good one because I don't know when I would have ever gotten to this one, ever. So with that being said, I'm excited to read this, but I'm absolutely nervous. Like I'm so terrified to read this because I don't know anything about it besides 3 different timelines from what I saw on the back between the 3 different dates on here. Um, Historical fiction, witches. That's it. Moving on to prop number 7 of this video. Now that we probably got that out of the way, I thought she took long to respond at all. I didn't think she would, but never does. An audiobook. Is this going to be an audiobook for month for me? Because I have one on here already. So, I think the way I want to do this is I have a series that I have been reading as audiobooks while reading along to the physical book and doing like other like small little tasks around the house and stuff. And that is the Kingdom of Lies series by Stasia Stark. I read book 2 in January, so maybe I could read book 3 in February. What is the title of book 3? Let me look at the end of book 2 to determine that title. A Crown Mystical and Heavy is the title of book 3. Like I said, I read book 2, which is this. I really, really enjoyed it, and it left me on a blank cliffhanger. So maybe I can purchase book 3 pretty soon and read it. Listen to the audiobook of it since I have an audiobooking this series. Um, and this would be me continuing a series. And then if I read book 3, I only have book 4 left. And then what then, guys? What then? I finish it? That's scary. That's daunting. I don't like finishing series, and we all know this. But I am really excited to read book 3 because, like I said, if you saw my 24-hour readathon, you know I literally was like the end, the end, and that's it. Yeah. So book 3, which is imaginary that I'm holding, it's gonna hold its place, is going on my TBR for February. Prompt 8. I am. What a roll here with these books. There's some good books I've had on my TBR this month. It's a wide variety of things, I feel like. Okay. Okay. This is what I'm trying to like pull out. Oh my god, it's open. I already see what it is. It says reread a favorite. The Sunbird Trials by Anna Thomas. I decided to mostly go with this one because book two came out later last year, and I never got around to it because I was in my reading slump, the biggest reading slump of my life last year. And so I am going to reread this with the intention of buying book two and reading it there soon after I have finished this. This is a duology, so this will be me completing another series of mine by literally reading the next book. I absolutely adore Aiden Thomas's writing. He has easily become an autobiography for me just from reading The Cemetery Boys and The Sunbearer Trials. I think I gave this one like a 4.5 star. When I read it the first time, I really, 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 really enjoyed it. Anything with trials in it is going to be a high four, maybe even a 5 star for me because I love trials. I adore trials in a book. It makes a book more complex, more interesting, and I try to solve them with them. Like it just, I adore it. And I adored this book. I love Teo. Okay, I love Teo. That's all I have to say. Okay, and the betrayal at the end of this book, criminal, criminal. Okay, um, I literally have nothing bad to say about this book. No notes. Okay, no notes whatsoever. I think I'm gonna call it at 8 this time around. I feel like eight's a good number because it gives me more wiggle room to kind of read some more stuff. Because I do have another. I like I said, I have a vlog, couple vlogs, but not in the month of February that I need to get to. And so one of them is coming out very soon after this TBR video is coming out. So let's just talk about the TBR for this video. I have 8 books. 2 of them I do not own physically, and then 6 that I do own physically. Actually, it's more of 5 I own physically, 3 I don't. So let's talk about it. The first pop that I pulled was a book published in 2022, and I picked Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, which is the first book in a hockey romance series. I'm absolutely terrified to read this book. I have heard very mixed things about this book. People either love it, they hate it, they like it, whatever it may be. I'm hoping I found to the group where I like it and I want to continue on with the series at least, because if not, this would be an easy DNF for a series for me where I won't want to continue on. Considering I don't read a lot of like lighter romances, especially hockey romances, I probably won't like it, which honestly, fair enough. I like more dark stuff. Who cares? The next pop I pulled was a guilty pleasure read. For that, I am going to read Queen Takes Queen, which is the third book in the Vampire Queen series. I literally, like I said when I talked about it, is I rate this book series when I'm trying to get out of a slump. I need a little palate cleanser. I'm looking for something silly and quick and fun to read, whatever it may be. So I just picked this out. It's literally just a good guilty pleasure read. I've read these books about 3 times now, and I have no care in the world. Like I just love reading these. Like I said, they're quick, easy reads. So who wouldn't want to read them? The next prompt that we got was let a friend pick, and I had my friend pick from 3 different books that I have been kind of eyeing on my shelves. And the book that she picked was Wayward by Emilia Hart. I love this. I don't love this book. I love the fact that she picked this one in particular because I don't know when I would have gotten around to it otherwise. Um, so with that being said, we're gonna try and read this in February. We'll see if I actually get to it. I don't really know, but it is here on my February TBR. The next pop that we got was a book that's been on my TBR for over a year. And listen, I'm ashamed to say this book has been on my TBR for over a year, but it has. and that is Gideon the Ninth by Tam Zamir. I am terrified of this book, but hopefully I can get the audiobook from this off of Libby. And like I said, immersive read this. So listen to the audiobook while reading along because that's how most people recommend you read this. I am scared to read it, but I really want to read it because I've heard really good things about this series. As far as I know, there are 3 books out, and this is also another 25 books to the 2025 book. And so, as long as I continue reading these throughout the months of the year, we will get through this 25 and 25 before we even realize it. The next prompt that we picked out of the jar was a romantasy book. In this book, I literally did not have to think about. I knew immediately what I wanted to pick, and that is Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. I am in the mood to reread this. I already reread Divine Rivals. I am excited to be rereading this. As long as I reread this now, I can get this reread over with and focus on other series to continue reading and finishing in 2025. I'm super excited. I love this book. I love this duology. Rebecca Ross did her number with this one, and I appreciate her for that because I absolutely adore this duology. It is one of my favorites of all time. I never shut up about it. The next box that we picked out of the jar was book with the cover I don't like, which literally I feel bad for saying I don't like this because I literally love the content in this book. I adore these books. And that is Blood Mercy by Vila Roth, which is the first book in the Blood Gray series by Vila Roth. This is a chunky book. This will probably take me about a week to read because it's over 600 pages, and this is a very dense read. There's a lot of world building, there's a lot of things that you have to know for this to make sense. And so, do with that what you will. I adore this. It's really good. I can't wait to have all the books in this series on my shelf because I will one day because this series is too good. Okay, I love it. I love Taylor Ross writing. I just don't like the cover, and I just wish I could show it to you like this or like this and not like this. So, yeah. The next book prompt that I picked out was an audiobook. I don't own the physical copy of this book yet, but I have been listening to this series of audiobook. And the next book is A Crown This Cold and Heavy by Stacia Stark. I am holding on the second book in its place. I have been audiobooking this series. I'm really, really enjoying it. I read the first one in December, this one in January, so we might as well continue on and read the third one in February, and then maybe even the fourth one in March. We'll see what happens. I just know that I am adoring this series a lot. It's not a 5-star series for me. It's probably more on a line of a 4-star series. But I really, really enjoy it. It's really good. It's really good pacing. Like I love this series. And I can't wait to get to the third book after the ending of this book. And then the last prompt that we put in a jar was reread a favorite, and I decided on The Sunbury Trials by Aidan Thomas. I am rereading this in preparation for me to read the second book in this duology and be finished with this duology and have a series checked off my series list. I just need to finish series. It's an issue. So I picked this one with the intention of that. And I'm super excited to be rereading this. I love Aiden Thomas's writing. So, and that is the 8 books on my TBR for the month of February. 2 of them being I don't own, 3 of them being I don't own physically as of right now. So I'm super excited with this TBR. I do have some chunkers on this book because I'm pretty sure A Crown This Cold and Heavy is about over 500 pages, most likely because this book and the first book in the series are over 500, so that one's probably over 500. I have some big books, okay, and I have series that I'm continuing vlogs I gotta do, and some books in there are chunky, so we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. I'm excited. Um, So yeah, that's it for today's video. I will leave my Goodreads and my Instagram link down below. I hope you have a great day, evening, night, morning, afternoon, and whatever part of the world you are having it in. And I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.